All right, guys, it has been a while since I did a back garden tour, mainly because we have been working on the greenhouse. But I got a couple of requests wanting to see what the backyard is looking like. So come along with me while we head over to the hydrangea area in the backyard. Okay, so we're going to start over here. I don't know about you guys, but with all the rain that we have been having, my lime primes, which is the tall ones, and oh no, my limelight is the tall one, and the lime primes are the ones on the side. The rain has really been beating them down. But I'm going to tell you this. I am no longer going to be cutting them down by a third. The last time, and I would say probably 3 years ago when I did these, I only snipped off the heads and I did not have this problem with the rain. While I know they say, cut them down by a third, no, because I want those stems to be strong so that when we do get that heavy rain, it is not doing this to them. And, it wouldn't be so bad if I didn't have the gap. I mean, because I don't mind a little bit of it draping, but I also have some hostas that this fall I'm going to dig out of there, and I also have those. I forget what they're called, but I'll put the name of them up. I just can't think of them. Plus I'm trying to beat the rain before it comes down because it's supposed to. And then my, oh, I know what it is. Joe Pye weed is buried back there. I have 3 of them, but I'm going to get those guys moved out of there. My Sprea is doing well, along with the hyssop that the bees just love. I need to trim down my petunias and feed them and give them a nice haircut. And then I'm just allowing my peonies to die back. I got some Veronica, both white and the purple. And then this here in the front is my bachelor buttons. I thinned those guys out a couple days ago. They just gotta bounce back. My asters. I cut those guys back because they were looking kind of wild. Now, I do love my meadow garden. Everything is looking really good. I'm excited about my quick fires. They're starting to turn pink, and that is looking gorgeous. That's just so pretty. And then my pink roses that are in between the two, and then the other big one back there is the limelight. But this meadow garden is just so beautiful with the Archway, the daisies, my phlox. You can see that all of nature loves this. I even got some dragonflies back here. Okay, so this is a new area that we added over here. I took my sunshine ligustrums that were in the pots and brought them over here, and I have my yellow and my pink knockout roses here, my jasmine, this is a ground cover, and I so love the tricolor that is on there. And then this is my what is it, yucca, cherry yucca. It's an early spring bloomer, so it's doing well. And look at my rose of Sharon. It has tons of buds on it, and I just planted this last year when we came back from visiting Creekside, and it was just a little guy. And then over here I have my azaleas, Also another endless summer hydrangea that has a combination of the blue and the pink flowers on it. Now I'm trying to figure out what is up with my autumn joy sedum to where it has these spots on it. I don't know if it's from the rain because I don't do overhead watering, but you know, I so love the color that it ends up turning, you know, when they come into full bloom. And I got different styles, you know, that some are a little leggier than others. But yeah, this section is new and I cannot wait until it fully blooms. And then I have no idea what those grass blades are over there behind the pink rose, but I'll get those cleaned out. My buddleia is doing well, along with the bubblegum petunias, and that was just 2 plants that I have there. Now the plant that's in the back, that is my what is it called, early spring. It gets these beautiful purple flowers on it. I'll put the name of them up. But boy, the garden is looking so nice. Now I so love my back garden here outside of our gazebo. The quick fires are doing well, and then like right in between I have my pink roses, and these guys are starting to get that shade of pink to them that I love. That makes them so gorgeous. Can you see that? And these guys are so nice and healthy and large. Well, like I said, we've had a lot of rain, so it sort of has beat them down a little bit, but I still love the way that they look. And then look at my mammoth limelight. But one of the things, like I said, that I'm going to be doing to get the smaller plumes is just cut them off at the heads. I'm not going to be doing the cut them by a third because it just does too much damage. And then guys, you know, sad to say, like I said, because of the rain and the heat, you know, I got a lot of weeds. I got a lot of weeds in here. And then these tree branches that fall and mess up my plants. I'll go ahead and get those guys stacked back up. But my bachelor buttons, I need trimmed back. My echinacea is looking good. You know, I'll let the birds eat the seeds. Helen Vaughnstein, I think I'm going to end up getting that moved out of there. Because I just think it's just way too much moisture. And then back in the corner there is my Confederate rose that it won't get the blooms on it until, you know, mid-September. And it's a combination of pinks, white, and mauves. Because of the rain, my cal lilies, some of them have flopped over. Same thing here, which I'm going to go ahead and get taken care of because some of them have fallen back and landed on my hydrangeas. I was telling Kevin, you know, I was thinking of getting those guys dug up back there, and I think I am going to do so. But yeah, you can see how the rain has impacted, you know, the hydrangeas. But you know what, that's gardening, and I so love this view to be able to see all of my hydrangeas and then my crepe myrtles. That's such a pretty sight to see. So let's go on around. for July. It's just looking really, really nice. Now, over here in the Archway garden, like I said, one of the things that definitely seeing an improvement in is the water retention because of us limbing up both the trees and the fact that most of the sun during its hottest period is coming from the west side. I think it's a contributing factor, to this garden looking so nice. And the archway is filled with roses. It looks so, so nice. It looks like I still need to get those are my lime primes staked up. Like I said, I don't mind that they tip over. What I don't like is when they touch the ground. And then what that ends up doing is allowing moisture, and then they turn brown and then they look ugly. But yeah, this bed is looking so very nicely. And then let's go ahead along the back side of the greenhouse to see how nice everything is doing and how many weeds I got back here. And so much stuff I have to clean up. And I could have swore I made a point of getting rid of these purple hearts. But I will go ahead and get those guys dug up. Those are my Annabelles. We're placing 2 of my Annabelles somewhere back in this area so that the trees help dissipate some of the pressure that ends up coming down when we have, the heavy rains, and act as a protectant. And there's so much stuff I need to come back here and clean up. But, aside from some of the weeds and some of the stuff that has died back, the garden is very, very healthy. I so love my, what is that? Weeping or winding creeper or weeping creeper. Just love that contrast of the color. I have 2 of them, along with some more of my hydrangeas and roses here in the back. And I just so love this view of how lush and green my shade area is. Are doing so fantastic along with my hellebores, which I am going to be thinning these guys out this fall. And the beauty of these guys is they will still be nice and green. And then my other sprea, the candy corn, is now in this stage, but it'll end up turning that candy corn color. My bird sanctuary, I swear, this guy needs to have some major overhaul because a lot of my, look at the dragonfly. He just perched up there. To be able to get a lot of these dead branches where the flowers have already bloomed and taken off that yellow. Mind you, it is killing me that this garden bed looks the way it does, but I will definitely get to it to where anything that's dying back, go ahead and get it cut back. I just love those coneflowers. And then I cannot wait until my muley grass starts to change color. Got another hydrangea back there. That is actually, it was actually blue last year, but it looks like it's pink. And then I need to get over here and trim back my broomstrucks so that they can get another flush on them. Okay, so my iceberg climbing rose is doing well. I'm getting another flush. It's not as full as it was earlier in the season, but it's doing good. But let me show you guys this. I got a clematis that I planted, and it looks like it's doing a really good job of climbing up. I'll post a picture of what it's going to look like. But I do know in the spring, a lot of these little spindly rose branches, I'm going to clip off, because that is one thing that they do say. But then look at my ornamental onions and also my coneflowers, my echinacеas. So this area is looking good. Now, the other thing that I ended up doing, as I moved the settee from over here and put it over into the vegetable garden, I redid the window boxes. I have the black potato vines and some white vincas, and then a grass in there. And then down here, I just also did up some pots with some lilies, more of the black potato vines, with some autumn joy sedum. I also have some, I believe that is salvia, and then my hawthorn bush, because I've tried to grow evergreens in pots and I just don't have much success with that. And I did just mimic it on the other side. And then my white lie rose that I did last year from a clipping. Now my hibiscus, it has bloomed, and I believe this one is called Luna. And I'll put a photo of it when it looks really, really good. But the back garden is doing rather well, even with all the rain and the heat that we've had. All right, guys, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how my back garden is looking, and I look forward to you checking out my next video.